Hi, everyone. Hello, good evening. Let me know that you're here. You know, I like to know who you are so I can greet you. And we're going to jump right in. We're going to jump right into what I titled this. You know what? I titled it 10 Middle Class Money Mindsets That Are Holding You Back. Really, there's only 2 mindsets, and then there's these like 10 beliefs that are middle class money beliefs, middle class mindsets, middle class beliefs. But really, there's only 2 mindsets around money, because that's what I've been teaching on since a few days ago. And hey, how are you? Thanks for the hearts. Let me know who you are. Let me know that you're here so I can say hello. I can say what's up by name. So there's 2 mindsets. Okay. And if you've been anywhere in the online space, listening to any coaches or listening to any personal development, Tony Robbins, you name them, right? You're going to know there's a scarcity mindset and there's an abundance mindset. And I could only speak from personal experience that all of my life, I had a scarcity mindset around money. And I didn't grow up poor. Like, we were not poor, right? We weren't, oh, it says Facebook user. It says, hi, Linda, you look fab. Whoever you are, thanks. So I didn't grow up poor. Both of my parents were entrepreneurs. They had their own business. But if you didn't catch the live stream from 2 days ago where I was talking about, even though they had their own business, you know, our church was always giving away free toys. I got free toys for Christmas. My church was had a pantry. So there was always government cheese in my house, even though my parents didn't qualify for government cheese on paper, but we actually kind of did. So there's a scarcity mindset. That mindset tells you that there's never enough, and there's never enough of anything. Like, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough money. There's not enough work. There's not enough hours in the day, right? And if someone is doing good, if someone's doing well for themselves, there's a mindset that it's at the expense of someone else. Or I can't do well because if I do well, it's going to be at the expense of someone else. If I'm doing well, it means that I'm taking from someone else. Okay? And so that shows itself in your life in the form of being afraid to spend, or spending everything and getting into debt, because when it's gone, it's gone. Okay? These are all mindsets. And, you know, like, you can't take it with you. You only live once. The people that spend without thinking about, you know, how much debt they're racking up, or their credit score, or how spending is impacting their ability to live in several years or a few months down the line, that is scarcity. Or money doesn't grow on trees. Or even though both of my parents were entrepreneurs, my father used to speak so horribly of salespeople. All salespeople are crooks. Every lawyer is a crook. Every lawyer is, hey, Leilani, every lawyer is a thief. Doctors are crooks. They're all out to get your money, right? Literally, my father had it. Everybody is out to get me mindset. It was a scarcity mindset. Plus, his parents were products of the Great Depression, and they were immigrants. My grandmother was Lebanese. They were in Puerto Rico. Like, they came to Puerto Rico and they struggled through the Depression. So they raised, and my dad grew up extremely poor. having to share his shoes with his two other siblings, going to school at different times of the day so that all the siblings could wear the same pair of shoes, even though they weren't the same size shoe. So my father wore shoes that were very tight for him. And so my father, it was really interesting when, when I was born, he was in his 40s. And so my father liked abundance of everything in the house, like enough toilet paper, enough paper towels, enough food. And he grew up having no meat in the house to eat. So they ate a lot of rice and a lot of eggs. And my father hated eggs. So beef was never a thing that my father ate growing up, or chicken. But my father ate so much red meat, because red meat to my dad signified abundance. I have enough. I have money to buy red meat. So my father grew up, and he grew up with this scarcity mindset, though. So it was all like, stop asking, money doesn't grow on trees. Who do you think we are? We're not rich. We're not rich. Eat all that food. There's people in Africa starving. That's the scarcity mindset. And I had that mindset. I didn't even know that it was a thing. I thought that way. When I was 31 and I joined a multi-level marketing company, I had never heard of the phrase goal setting until I joined these ladies. I never knew what setting goals was. I just thought you're born into a family. This is your fate. Like, there's rich people and there's like pilots and astronauts and lawyers and doctors. And I wanted to be a lawyer. Like, that was my thing. And I was like, but you know what? That's not where I came from. And so how am I going to go to college? Neither one of my parents went to college. So they didn't know about Pell Grants, or they didn't know about scholarships, or even student loans. My father was damn sure not going to take any student loans to send me to college. So all of that was scarcity. It wasn't until I started working on personal development. I got a degree in psychology. By the time I was 40, I had a bachelor's in psychology. And I started this personal development walk, learning more about expanding who I am, becoming a better version of me, my future self and all of that shit. I didn't start listening and hearing those terms till I was in my 40s. I'm 49. So it wasn't until literally 2020, at the very beginning of the pandemic, that I experienced a conscious, intentional shift in my thinking. I started doing research about what recessions do for the economy as far as spinning off entrepreneurs. Recessions are the biggest place where e-commerce was born. In the last recession, so many e-commerce businesses like Alibaba. And I was like, wow, it's interesting to learn that during every recession, while the entire country is going to the shits, it is the time where the most entrepreneurs are birthed by capita. Like, every single recession is the catalyst for brand new innovative companies and innovative people to start businesses. It was really interesting. I started reading books on wealth consciousness. I had no clue what the hell wealth consciousness was. And I began to believe abundance for myself. In March of 2020, when the pandemic hit, I was living with a friend. My daughter had to come home from college. I wasn't bargaining for my daughter to come home from college. Nobody knew that the pandemic was coming. And now I was living with my friend, and my daughter was there. And I felt like such a burden to my friend, because the deal was for me to live with my friend. She was also an empty nester. She had a house with a 4-bedroom house, and she only had the master bedroom. She's like, Linda, come stay with me and build your business while you're here. But I felt like such a burden when the pandemic hit and my daughter had to come home from college, and my daughter was taking up another room in my friend's house. And I began to learn about wealth consciousness. And that is the mindset of abundance, right? We spoke about the first mindset is scarcity. And the abundance mindset believes that there's always enough of what you will ever need whenever you need it, okay? You're always grateful for what is here and for what is coming in the future, because the moment that you think about it, it has already been created and you believe that, even though you don't have evidence. Focusing on abundance brings comfort. It makes you confident in your financial position, as well as your ability to learn more skills around the way that you make money and ultimately have more money long term. When you have an abundance mindset, you feel expansive and like anything is possible. Okay, I'm going to read that to you again. Not only do you feel confident in your financial position, but you also feel confident in your ability to learn more skills around the way that you make money. When you learn about wealth consciousness, you understand that the economy is not somewhere out there. You are dead smack in the middle of the economy, and it is your financial responsibility and financial duty as a citizen of planet Earth to be a wealth circulator, for you to have money run through you so that you can go back to the economy and circle it in the economy. You are responsible for this economy going. You're responsible to go to Target. You're responsible to go to Walmart. You're responsible to go grocery shopping. You are responsible to float money through this economy. It is your duty to do your part so that this economy, so that we're not going into this recession. If we're going into a recession, it ain't going to be because me. Because, honey, I stay purchasing, paying off my cards every month, thousands of dollars every month on my credit cards. At least $10,000. So there's the two mindsets: scarcity and abundance. And if you have any comments, guys, I'm looking at my notes. So sometimes I'm looking at the screen where you might be posting comments or not. If you're not, that's great. You guys know how I feel about comments. I'm like, I can't believe I'm just coming on here, dropping this amazing stuff, and like nobody asks questions, but that's okay. Those are different mindsets as well. So you got 10 limiting beliefs around money. Okay. These you've heard. Whether you grew up in the middle class or you grew up very religious, you're going to be very familiar with money is the root of all evil. Okay. Evil is the root of all evil. I spoke about it the other night. Okay. Money is just a form of exchange. That's it. I give you money. I give you money. You give me this fan. So here's the money. It's an exchange. This has value, but so does this. That's why I'm giving you this. Because when I give you this, I can fan myself now. I'm no longer hot. Okay? This has value. When I drink it, I'm not thirsty anymore. I can take my medicine. I can quench my thirst. Here you go. And depending on how thirsty I've been and for how long, depends on how many of these I think the value of this is. Are you with me? Money is just exchange for value. Okay? You've already heard this. If you're an idiot, having a lot of money makes you a bigger idiot. If you're a jerk, if you're a bad person, having a lot of money makes you a bigger, worse person. Money doesn't corrupt anyone. Money is not dirty. Money is the thing, the vehicle, the value that can affect change. Okay? Literally. Next belief: I can't afford it. Right? It's just like, oh, I can't do this until my kids grow up, or I can't do this if I go to that. Like, I can't afford it. And literally, I heard so many times in the personal development space, you can do anything. Money shouldn't be the reason. Just make the decision. Just say yes. Say yes. And then the money for whatever you said yes to will flow. And I'll be like, how the hell is that possible? How am I going to how am I going to say yes to a $30,000 purchase and I don't have $30,000 and I don't have good credit? How am I going to say yes to that? Right? You know what's really interesting? The live viewers have dropped. I'm literally talking about money mindsets. And people who think that they know this are the ones that are dropping off of the live stream. Because they're like, oh, I know that. No, you don't. That's why you're broke. Okay? It's selfish to want more money. That's another mindset. I don't want to want more money because that's selfish. You know? Now, tell me how you can achieve any great goal. How can you help a whole lot of people if you can't feed yourself? How can you save people that are drowning by swimming up to them? You should at least have a boat and a life vest for yourself so that these people don't pull you under and drown you. And you should probably want to have some life vests for the people that you're saving. Well, the boat, you're not going to get a boat for free and you're not going to get life vests for free. It is not selfish to want money. Like money is what is the thing that allows us to create impact in the world. Or I'm not good with money, right? So this is a story that people make up. It disempowers you from learning the skill that you need to be good with money, because not many of us were taught financial literacy. I wasn't even taught how to balance a checkbook. Obviously, we don't do that anymore. But when I was young, I had a checkbook with a ledger. My first job was as a teller at a credit union. If I didn't have that job, I probably would have not learned how to balance a checkbook. I would not have learned about money. Another mindset limiting belief is, well, I don't come from a rich family. I don't have a rich family. No one in my family's ever been rich. Okay. That all of these limiting beliefs, they're limiting because they disempower you. And it is very true that if you grew up with very little money or in a struggling household, you are more likely to have more limiting beliefs around money. But in the same train, there are gazillion stories about self-made millionaires who grew up in poverty. So when you say things like, my family has never been rich, I don't come from a rich family, I don't have money, you might resent people who have money and you might judge them like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. This is a common phrase in the people with the middle class mindset. Yet we all have the same 24 hours in the day. And even though we all don't have the same starting point, there are people who had a worse off starting point than you, and they are gazillionaires right now. Okay. So another mind's limiting belief is, I can make money or I can do what I love, but I can't do both. Either I chase the money in a job that I don't love because it pays well, or I chase what I love and I never make money at it. This is why people say, chase the money, chase the money. They tell people, I tell my kids, chase whatever you want, because I've paid the price with scarcity, with limited financial resources, being on food stamps, having been on unemployment many times. It's not that you can either make money or do what you love, but not both. That is not true. Many entrepreneurs were birthed out of the pandemic. I am one of them. My business crossed $250,000 the year of the pandemic. And I have raised each year, I have beat what I did the year before. And already this year, I've done what I did last year at the end of last year. So it's not true that you can either make money or do what you love, but not both. You can do what you love and make money. Okay. The people that say, well, money's just there to spend. Like, spending money in and of itself is not bad. But if spending your money prevents you from investing in your future and securing a legacy, your future, then that's the problem. You solve it by having money to invest and then having money for fun. Not like, well, all money is here to spend. Limited belief. You have to work really hard to get money. Oh my God, this is like the older you speak, like the older the person you're speaking to, the more that they have this belief. You have to work really hard to make money. But Really, you just have to solve problems for people. And true, solving a problem at scale might not be easy for everyone, but shit, being in debt and unable to help yourself really is not going to put you in a position to be able to help others. Okay? You don't have to work hard to make money. You have to work smart to make money. Literally, I pinch myself. I pinch myself to think at where my life is today, and that one day I couldn't imagine people paying me $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 to work with me, $100,000. And today I sent a brand new client a gift. She was so excited about the gift, and she was like, "Get here and take my money," because a bonus for her is that when she paid in full, I was going to go travel to meet her. So it blows my mind. I stand in awe that people are excited to pay me the kind of money that they pay me, doing what I love, and it's changing people's lives. That the kind of money that they pay me is a smidgen compared to the return on the investment for their entire life, for their life having crossed paths with me. You can do the same. You can be the kind of person who, when your life crosses paths with another human being, you leave it changed for the better forever. You don't have to work hard to get money. You do have to work hard at developing the skill set to be able to deliver 20 times the value that someone pays you for your stuff. Absolutely. And then you'll be like, this is not hard work. Okay? Another mindset. Money's not that important. Money's not that important, you know? Like, money is not everything. So people use that so that they don't have to fix their credit, so that they don't have to take control of their finances, and they don't have to create a future that's secure. Money's not that important. You know, it's not a big deal. Excuse me. Mindset number 11. Money is not everything. Money and the variations. Money is not happiness. Money can't buy happiness. Money is not everything. Okay. How? Everything except breathing requires money. Your healthcare requires money. People die because they don't have access to healthcare, because healthcare is not free in this country. Medication is not free. Absolutely zero cancer treatments are covered by any healthcare policy in the United States. No cancer, no chemo. No chemo is covered. Cancer is like the leading killer of human beings on this planet. It's not covered by any insurance. Anybody being diagnosed with cancer will send that family into bankruptcy. If they have no money, that person is going to die sooner than later. If they have a little bit of money, that person is going to live as long as that money doesn't run out. When that money runs out, they're going to be embarrassed to open up a GoFundMe because Auntie so-and-so needs medication. Auntie so-and-so needs medication. And then Auntie so-and-so passes away and people are opening up a GoFundMe, and they're embarrassed because they used up all of their resources trying to keep Auntie so-and-so alive. Specialists, naturopaths. Money is the answer to all things. The Bible says that money is the answer to everything. It's in the Bible. Let me look it up real quick because I just don't want to drop this and not give you the scripture. It is Ecclesiastes 10:19. Ecclesiastes says, 10:19, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes life merry, and money is the answer for everything. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, naturopathic doctors aren't able to take insurance. Yes, it's out of pocket. So if you don't have any money, you're just not gonna be able to do that. Money is extremely important. What can you buy with poverty? Money can't buy happiness. What can you buy with poverty? What can you buy with poverty? What? And I always joke, anybody who hasn't bought themselves a Gucci purse or a Louis Vuitton bag or flown first class or bought themselves diamonds for the first time ever, no man had ever bought me the kind of diamonds that I bought myself 2 years ago for the first time. I was happy as hell. Like, why do we think that way? It is middle class mindset. I literally created a person, an identity for that person who I was. I call her Broke Linda. And I have been Broke Linda way too many years longer than I have been Abundant Linda. Okay? Make no mistake. I have been Broke Linda. Broke Linda is alive and well inside of me all the time, trying to stop me from making investments, from spending my money. Literally, Linda, do you really have to buy that? My God, you've been paying off your credit card every month. Holy crap. No wonder you have so many points on your credit card. You really need to slow down. Do you know how much money you would have in the bank if you had not been spending money like you have on your credit cards every month? I still have those thoughts. They didn't go away, but they're Broke Linda. So I have separated, I have disassociated from that so that I can see it for what it is. They're scarcity thoughts. They are limited thoughts. And Abundant Linda doesn't think that way. Abundant Linda, every single time that I want to make a decision and it involves money, and Broke Linda wants to say, Linda, that's crazy, girl. You have never done that. Oh my God, girl. If you do that, now your savings is going to look like this. If you do that, you have to run up a credit card. Like, what are you doing? When I think that way, I immediately, Abundant Linda is like, you are hosting a live event next year. You are doing $1 million in a weekend for your business at that event. If you had already done that event and you had already brought in $1 million worth of revenue for your business, would you be thinking like this right now? No. Then think like $1 million Linda. $1 million Linda is already in here. But Broke Linda was here for way longer years than Abundant Linda has. So Broke Linda is always trying to spit salt in the game. So other visuals for you of middle class people who drive a Mercedes when they damn sure can barely afford a Honda. Okay? Picking up the check every time you go out, being the big shot, right? And helping people, rescuing family and friends that are irresponsible when you yourself cannot. This is the example that I gave earlier when I was like, if someone is drowning, you can't go into the water by swimming up to them. You must have a boat or some secure floating device with your life vest so that you can protect yourself from drowning. Otherwise, you're going to drown. This is what happens when you are unable to really rescue family members and friends that are irresponsible, but you put it on credit cards. And every time you go out, you're picking up the check because you want to be a baller, but you're not really a baller. That's middle class because you're concerned about people judging you for not having. That's a middle class mindset. while you're living check to check, but you're trying to look good at all costs. And yo, I'm not mad at you if you go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx. They got some good brands there. Look good on a budget, but don't be looking good shopping at Tom Ford at the mall. Obsessed with how much things cost. And if you do have money, unable to enjoy it and you hide it from others. I drove to a client in Plano, Texas several months ago, and we were talking on Zoom, and she was talking about just like not wanting to act like she had money in the church and whatever else. And she pulled up in a black Range Rover. And I said, why are you ashamed? Like the way you spoke, I can't believe you. You pulled up here in a black Range Rover. You don't go to church in your black Range Rover? No, Linda, I don't want people at church to think that I'm better than them or what. What? So having enough and being ashamed of it is also a middle class mindset. Shame around money. Buried in debt, but keeping on spending. Being foreclosed or bankrupt. Like now or in the past. And, always wondering what people think of you, whether it's because you don't have enough or whether you have more than enough. These subconscious beliefs and thought patterns, they stem from our childhood. They stem from those very beginning 7 years, formative years of our life. And they determine how we deal with money as adults. You find yourself repeating the pattern, all the patterns of your parents. If you don't consciously and intentionally make the intentional decision that you will not repeat your parents' life, you will repeat your parents' lives. That is what I had to share today about the middle class mindset. The limiting beliefs that hold you back. They hold you back. They keep you broke. So that's all I have for you. I am teaching this week, soaking in the tub, chilling, enjoying your riff. Lisa, you're so great. Enjoy your bath. Abundance, spit salt in the game. Yeah. I appreciate you guys for catching my live streams. I am about to get off of here. I don't see that anybody had any questions. Thank you so much for choosing. Like Lisa, she could be doing anything else while she's in the tub, but she's like, let me watch Linda. So thank you. Thank you for choosing to invest your time with me, because that's valuable. You find value in what is coming out of my mouth. Literally, I decided, and I thank you for that, right? I decided several years ago that I was going to be walking value. When I open my mouth, I cannot help but thousands of dollars in advice to come out of it. It's up to you to see that. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Leilani, for thinking that and sharing your time with me tonight. I appreciate you, and I shall be here. Indeed, I shall be here again tomorrow. All right, darlings. Have a good night.